I am Madelyne Woods with the goods, and my guest today, if you don't know him, you will very, very soon. His name is R.LUM.R. Williams Jr.
That's me.
R.LUM.R. That's the name of the new project coming out?
Yes, R.LUM.R, yes.
First of all, let me just say this to you. Your music is incredible.
Thank
50
you.
million spins on Spotify.
Yes,
you haven't
I'm
even
frustrated,
gone
yeah.
like national on radio yet.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's
Wow.
how bad your
That's correct.
sound is. And tell
Bad,
me
but
about-
in a good way.
Bad, but in a good way. Now, you started off in Florida, very young kid, knew that you
Yes.
wanted to do music.
Yes.
When did you get started with your guitar?
13-ish, first year in high school. So I serendipitously went to a high school that was a charter school and an art school, which means that we had to try one of each of the different types of the arts.
Oh.
So theater I had to do, which still scares me to this day. Visual arts, drawing, which I'm terrible at. Physical arts, which was Taekwondo. Our school had Taekwondo, which I'm actually very good at.
Are you really?
Yes, brown black belt, actually.
Oh, wow,
yes,
you are pretty good.
Big fan. And then guitar, classical, and that's why I still play with the nails. You know, we can see here the fingerstyle.
But why guitar? Why not keyboard? Why not something else? Usually when musicians start, they start with
Yeah.
guitar or keyboard.
Yeah.
Why not keyboard for you?
I was listening to rock music at the time. I was listening to, everything was so guitar centric. It was like Mars Volta or Linkin Park or Yes or King Crimson or whatever prog rock band I was into at the time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do what Coheed and Cambria was doing.
I think that's so funny because you talk about how rock was your major influence, but when I
Yeah.
hear you, I hear so much R&B.
Yeah,
So much
yeah.
R&B. And I won't even go all the way back, but I'll talk about Maxwell. I'll talk about, oh, yes, Marvin
Love
Gaye,
it.
I
Yeah.
hear.
Brother.
See? So it's not just rock music.
It isn't. Yeah, it's whatever, to me, whatever is tangible. It's got to have like an honesty. It's got to have a thing. There's some sort, not to get into the metaphysical, I suppose, but there is some sort of tangible truth in, regardless of genre, you know, like as we were speaking a little bit off camera about
Yeah.
genres and such, and I don't
It's
really
so
believe in
limiting.
those things. Yeah, I don't believe. I mean, they're helpful when you want to know what radio station to turn to, or you want to know where to look in the categorizations in a record store. But that's really it. You know, as a person who's making things, making art and whatnot, dare I call it that? I don't think it really helps you. I think it can provide an unhelpful limitation. Some limitations are helpful, like giving myself, particularly I'm a person that like likes options, and I'm like, ooh, I could use this plugin or this guitar or this thing, and just providing myself with less is really helpful, and that's why I still play guitar so adamantly. But you know, the genres, who cares? Just
It's
listen
so-
to what you like.
I think it's so incredible because coming from South Florida, a
Yeah.
black kid out of South Florida,
I'm in
and
Florida,
now
yeah.
you're pretty big in Nashville.
Yeah.
How did you make that transition? How did you go from South Florida, Bradenton, to Nashville, the biggest country music mecca,
Yeah.
the biggest, I don't know, rock
Literally
music
of
mecca?
everywhere.
And
The
then you're
biggest
this
country music mecca of everywhere.
Yeah.
That's funny. Mecca. I like to call it country music mecca.
Mecca,
Like as if
right.
country music fans have to go on like birthright to
To
Nashville.
Nashville.
You
To
know what I mean?
Nashville. But
What is
that's
the, what would
mainly-
be the Wailing Wall in Nashville? What would that be? That's funny.
What is it, Graceland?
Anyway, oh wow.
That would be it.
Shout out to the Johnny Cash Museum. But yeah, it was a great journey. I feel like, and in retrospect, doing it was a bit nerve-wracking because I was born in Florida and I came up in Florida. All my musical history is there. Everything that I was doing at the time that I had to make that decision. I was making enough money to like finally live. As we discussed earlier, I dropped out of college because like college was whack.
and the bills
I
were
just
mounting
felt
up.
like, and bills were mounting up, and I felt like I could just go and do music as a commercial music major, like just go participate in commercial music rather than waiting for someone to give you permission to that
Yeah.
you're good enough or whatever. So I got down there and I was finally stable, finally moving, and then an opportunity to go to Nashville with my manager, Chris Martiago, who's like a longtime friend of mine from Florida, came up, and we were just like, you got to make a decision. You know, either go and chase this potential and chase this thing that Chris saw and everybody thought could be large, so much larger than what you're doing now, or
Yeah.
just be comfortable and subsist on playing in bars and downtown Disney or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that, for sure. But I just knew that I had to do more. you
Your
know?
leap from covers to your original music,
Yeah.
so incredible. I mean, it's easy to do what somebody else has already done.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your first hit, Frustrated.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
wild.
It is beautiful.
Thank you.
The
Thank
lyrics
you.
are beautiful. The
Thank
music
you.
is beautiful.
Thank you.
The
Wow.
melody,
Keep
everything.
talking. Wow.
But I'm telling you though, sing
Yeah.
a little bit of it for me.
Do I have to?
You got to. You got to. You got to.
Here I go talking about the same thing, in and out as quick as you can fade away. It don't matter what I say if you want me to chain you to the sky. Oh my. That's fine. That's enough.
But that was great.
Thank
That
you.
was great. I thought
Thank
you were going to do more for me.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to be that guy?
But I want to know, because I talked to you about this before, about how you knew you were a musician. You picked up the guitar. You were just like wonderful with that. When did you know that you could sing?
Yeah, that was church. That was our grandmother.
Really?
Her Methodist church, she was like, y'all are going to be in the choir. Like, it was literally like, it wasn't a matter of whether or not we could sing. It was like, there is a children's choir. You are children. You're going to church and you're doing that. You know? So we kind of just got into it. And I feel like it was, again, maybe a serendipitous thing. That's the thing that I used to describe my journey quite a bit.
Yeah.
The serendipity, kind of right place, right time, and just picking up particular skills. You know, there's definitely a lot of growth to still be done. There's, you know, as you mentioned, we haven't even hit like national radio and like all these certain things yet, but we're still touring, we're selling out, we're doing well, and we're creating this thing that I call the family. You know, my family of the people who love and listen to this music.
I think it's because the music is so beautiful.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the lyrics. How do you come up with them? You were such a wordsmith, I would say, or just, I mean, we hear R&B, we hear love songs right now, but they're very provocative. They're very
sometimes,
I don't know, very sexual. Yours are more loving, but the same, but you accomplish the same thing. When I hear you sing, I get that emotion that there was a real relationship here, real feelings, and real chemistry.
Yeah, I really do go out of my way to try to create an atmosphere where you could take a couplet, you could take 2 lines, and just that is just like, oh, I love this, and this encapsulates my experience. Or you could take a full quatrain, you could take the full verse, you could take just the pre-chorus. I'd love for these things to be able to stand on their own. There's a lot of artists that have done that I really love, and my big thing is just to try to give back to music when it's given to me. Like Paramore has, Hayley Williams is one of my favorite writers.
Yes.
She has these amazing lyrics all the way back to Pressure, from like the really, really early stuff, Pressure and Emergency, all that stuff, and then all the way now to tunes like 26 and Pool, just absolutely beautiful. And The National is another one. I Have Only 2 Emotions, Careful Fear and Dead Devotion. I can't get the balance right, but with all my marbles in the fight. But everything I love is on the table, everything I love is out to sea, but I'm not alone and I'll never be. How deceptively hopeful is that once you get to the end, you know? But even if you want to just pull those 2 lines, I have only 2 emotions, careful fear and dead devotion. Like, that's your whole spectrum of what you can feel. That's an incredible, just an incredibly sympathetic and specific way to try to create that emotion and that scene. That people, when they do relate to it, they relate to it really hard, you know, because it's so specific.
Yeah, you mentioned rock bands, you mentioned punk bands, fringe bands, but when I hear your lyrics, I hear Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, man.
That's how beautiful your lyrics are.
Do you remember 21st night of September?
It's so funny. That's one of the most commercial.
Yeah,
that's one of the most commercial lines.
What's your favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song? Mine is After the Love Is Gone.
I think Imagination.
Okay.
I think, oh geez, I go on and on and on. But I want to talk about you. I had no idea how funny you are.
That's funny. I was like, what's that song? I want to talk about me. Want to talk about mine. Want to talk about number 1. Oh, my. What I think, what I want, what I need, what I like, what I see.
That's country.
Oh, I like talking about you usually. But occasionally, I won't talk about me. All right, what was the question?
I had no idea how funny you are.
Pardon?
When you perform, do you do this stand-up kind of thing? Because it's so natural. Or is it just improv that just happens?
You just improv. If I see something that's funny, because also just think of the situation, right? I'm in front of this crowd. All these people have paid this money to come and see this thing, to have a collective of individual experiences with me, which is probably based on an individual, possibly headphone experience, or maybe 1 or 2 friends or something from listening to the music. And I'm up there just controlling this crowd and dictating the flow in the event. And how absurd is that? That's absolutely absurd.
That's music.
Why me? You know what I mean? It's like sometimes just embracing the kind of just ridiculous. Like, it's like, this is insane. This is awesome. So that's the vibe for me generally on stage a lot of times. It's like, even though the music is relatively serious and can be somber and verbose and such, on stage it's like, damn, y'all showed up? Sick, let's do this, you know? So I'm usually in a pretty good mood, which means if I see something in the crowd, you know, I'll say something funny, somebody making a funny face, somebody who wants to actually is singing really hard, or somebody who's just like really in their feelings, really feeling it. You know, just, I like making that connection. And if saying something dumb and funny makes the connection, totally fine. I think that like me trying to be interesting and funny and like disarming on stage allows them to let their guard down. You know, a thing that I feel like I've learned from live shows is that the audience reflects your energy, right? So if you see somebody on stage who's like, I don't know,
scripted, trying to figure it out,
you know, or let's try to figure it out, or somebody who's just like maybe flippant or ignores the audience or something, and the audience doesn't connect with them. They don't care because you don't care, you know. If you're up there and you're leading and you're showing these people that, no, this is really important, but we can also have a really good time. You know, they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Those things can coexist. Sick. I'll go buy my beer, hang out with my friends, dance, have a good time.
And love your music.
And love the music.
Because that's what brought them in.
It is.
And that's what they're really, really vibing with.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your new project.
Oh, man.
What's your favorite cut?
The album. Wow. What's my favorite cut? It's like asking me which one is my favorite children.
Right.
Honestly, you know, and then the rest of them get no love forever, right?
That's not
it's
true.
like,
You can
right?
always go
It's
back
like,
and give them a hug
right?
later.
One stays at home and the rest of you go to boarding school. You know,
Oh.
I'm not seeing you for 6 months. Get out of here. I'm stalling if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because each of the pieces are like, it's like a tent. It's like a tent or house, right? If you pull one of, you got those four tent posts. If you pull one of them out, the thing falls down. Yeah. You know? So they're kind of codependent on each other, I think. They're kind of, but not in an unhealthy codependency way.
No.
But, you know, in a team, they're interlocking pieces, at least, to kind of complete the story. So it's hard to pick a favorite, but I feel like the one that I feel like I listen to the most and come back to, there's an opening track called Making a Choice that I feel like really stands as like the prologue, you know, kind of sets the scene for certain things, what the record's going to be about. There's another record on there called Surfacing that I think was really pivotal. That one was like, there was a moment where that song was what I knew the record had to be about, you know. The content of that piece. I can't really give too much away, but the content of that song was like, okay, this is I'm gonna write around this piece.
What about Cold?
Oh man, Cold's a great one. That
That's
one is
the
it's so
one.
fun because it's like it's plaintive in a certain sense, and it is about my life and like my real experiences. But it's dope to just be able to go up there because some of my favorite artists we spoke again about like earlier punk bands and stuff like that. You just throw up there like Anthony Green gets up there and just like throws his head back and just goes full just submission to the moment and the music. And I feel like Cold in an auditorium or something with like a good sound system and some people that are really feeling it, like I really, really cannot wait to just like, nah, guess where we went Cold. You know what I'm saying? Also, I have like a dream about this sometimes that I hope that's like, you know how sometimes like for instance, like John Legend or somebody, they'll turn the mic out to the crowd and the crowd just carries the chorus. You know, I really hope people love that song because I really want to have that moment where I put the mic back on the stand and like hold the mic out over the audience
And
like
they sing it for you.
Dude from 30 Seconds of Mars or something like that. You know, that's where we go. So yeah.
Well, I wish you the best. I know you're going straight to the top.
Simply the best.
Congratulations.
Better than all the rest.
I'm waiting for you to come up with a lyric for congratulations. You did simply the best. What else is there?
Yeah,
You sing on
congratulations.
command.
Congratulations is the Post Malone. That one's low hanging fruit, baby.
Yeah. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
The
so
project
much.
is R.LUM.R.
Yes, I am called
R.LUM.R.
Yes, I am called R.LUM.R.
I love it.
R.LUM.R. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reggie.